we're at Bucky's right now. We're heading up to the track. We've got the Corvette on the trailer, and Bucky's doesn't have E85, so luckily we have our profile expander on the good old TRX here, and so we're just going to put gas in it right now because we can do that with the profile expander. So if we find E85 on the way back, we'll throw it in.
You ready to go testing?
Yeah, we're ready to go testing. It's hot.
So what are we testing today on the Vet? I know you just did a lot of stuff with it, just some tidy up stuff, but what are we looking to check today?
One of the big things is we want to make sure it doesn't overheat. We want to make sure we got the cooling, set up right. Just alignment, tire, the type of tire pressures we're going to want to run. We just need to make sure it's happy and there isn't other things we need to modify, because the whole goal here is to run the one lap of America, so to be able to do 10 of these events in 1 week and drive at 3,000 miles. So this is really just shaking it down and seeing what else needs help. Yeah, the brakes work. Definitely need to get that ABS working.
So, how fast was the temp rising? You came off because temp's not great. Is it just that? Is it?
Yeah, I mean it's higher than it should be, and it was climbing. It's also having oil pressure issues, which isn't great.
Oh
so.
No.
Yeah, we're gonna need to build a bigger dry sump tank. So it wasn't losing oil pressure, but it should be solid. And I was watching it kind of trickle down to like 50 psi, which should be at like 100. So it's like, but yeah, no, I mean it ran good. The tune is a little better. It still is kind of crappy on a downshift blip. But it's definitely better than it was at Circuit of the Americas. Was that last weekend, 2 weekends ago?
Yeah, something like that.
So, yeah, and it rips when you don't have anyone in front of you. So, yeah, if spec Miata pace, it's overheating. It's certainly going to overheat it, the all of it pace. So, good times. It's all part of building the car.
Yep.
So we are saying thanks to Ray Anderson from Take It to the Limit for inviting us out today.
Yes.
And letting us do our shakedown. We will certainly be back to shake it down again after we fix stuff. Well, these are the first actual laps it's gone on, because when we were at Circuit of the Americas, it was basically an autocross. It was just turn 3 to turn 10 or whatever, so it was just, you start, you finish a couple turns later. We're actually going around the course here. So I knew we would have a different outcome, and that's okay. That's literally why we're here today. So we're good. I know what to address, and I'm not going to be chasing things that I don't need to spend time on. So.
All right, Ryan. So what are you testing in this particular situation?
Well, we ran across an issue we've never seen before in this car. It was a no-start issue, and so what we're doing is I'm just going to test this harness, even though I've already tested it before I left our shop. They're having a really weird issue where it will start sometimes and not other times. So, I mean, in the years we've been building these and however many thousands of these we've done, I've never heard of this issue. So we came up here to visit Mr. Rick Tapp, wherever he is. And see if we can help figure out what's going on with this car. Well, it's on the dyno, so he's tuning it right now. So it's getting some cool aftermarket stuff. Looks like at least an upper pulley. I don't know about a lower, maybe a lower pulley. And probably some injectors. And I know he makes fuel system upgrades for these, so we'll have to ask him about that later. But this is a pretty solid setup, so we just want to make sure it can get set up properly with our flex fuel system. So. Yeah, So what we're doing here is we're unplugging the fuel injector. This is Hellcat, obviously. And here's the harness here. So we're gonna plug this into the fuel injector, and we're gonna plug the car's harness into our harness. So here's the factory fuel injector plug right here, and we'll plug our harness in like this. We'll snap in, and then we'll take the harness and we will plug that into the injector. And now the signal from the car can pass through the harness. So even without it plugged into anything, the car should start and run as normal even without the unit plugged in. But we're going to do that for all of the injectors, and this will allow the unit to see what the ECU is commanding the injectors to do. And then once the sensor is installed and plugged into the system, it will read the ethanol content in the fuel, and the system will be able to adjust for that ethanol content. Hold on a second. Go ahead. It's not plugged in right now. It's firing though.
Holy shnikes!
So it's stock.
Yeah.
It's a stock. Oh! With a Wu-Tang whistle.
Yeah.
Is it one or two? Just one?
Just one.
Okay. Still.
So
Jesus. Is this gonna get a cage in it, or does it?
it's already in it.
Oh yeah. Nice and tinted so you can't see it.
Whoa!
That's sweet.
Damn. Yeah. You were not kidding when you said gutted.
Right now it looks like a ram driving down the road. So.
I mean.
Oh, camper shell. You should do the cage for the camper.
Oh my God! This is the
Do
shortest
like that farm
camp.
truck with, like, you know, leave the window loose so when you launch it just, you know.
Another farm truck. I know, right?
So the long and short of the day, I guess, was we started at the Mad Science Lab at what, 7? Were you there at 7? I started a bit earlier. We got the car on the trailer. We went up to Cresson Motorsports Ranch. We ran a session there with our good friend Ray Anderson from Take It to the Limit. We found some issues which we suspected with the cooling, so we'll be able to address those. Then we went over to see Rick at Tapped Performance, and we got to work on some R&D with him and check out what he's working on, and his race truck build, which was really cool. And now it's what is it, 7:45, and says we're going to be home at 10:30 tonight. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a day. We got a call from Rick this morning. So the issue we were chasing with him, we went up and worked with him on, actually turned out to be a set of bad injectors that were causing the whole issue. So all the headaches that we were going through there and sending a new system and all that turned out to be a set of injectors that weren't working properly. So that is now sorted out. Everyone can be on their way with that issue. So